All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Potential Project. I'm your host, Sean Calhoun, and if you're here, it's because you're ready to reduce stress, burn stubborn fat, and get your body working with you instead of against you. On this podcast, we're all about simple, no BS strategies for fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. This way, you can feel strong, confident, and in control. I'll give you the tools, mindset shifts, and habits to help you look and feel your best without spending hours in the gym or stressing over every single meal. Now, let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back. And today we're going to talk a little bit about mindset. Now, I know this is primarily about health and what we can do to help heal our body and to live our best, most vital life. But without having the right mindset in place, all of those actions that you're going to take are going to either be harder than they need to be, or they're not going to stick because you're not embodying the right frame of mind that it needs to actually allow your body to change and improve. So, do you ever feel like you've been trying to fix your body for years, but no matter what you do, it just doesn't listen, right? You've done things like you've changed diets, you've tried taking supplements, you joined gyms, right? But you're still chasing the same feeling, like you just can't get ahead of your health. You're on this hamster wheel of health and fitness and challenges and different things, and you just can't break through, right? Because here's the truth: your body doesn't need to be fixed, it needs leadership from you, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because we have this frame of mind that we're broken, we just need to fix these problems that are happening, and all of a sudden, when that happens, we're going to feel better, we're going to experience what we're really looking for in life. And I may have done a podcast about this, and if not, I could do another one just about what we're all searching for. We want to feel good. Why do we do certain things? It's because we want to feel good. It's not about the money, it's about what the money can afford for us, the experience, the material thing, that the way it's going to make us feel. It's not the exercise that we enjoy, it's the way we're going to feel. It's not just the way we're going to look when we see ourselves in the mirror, it's the way we feel, right? So we're all searching for a feeling. Now, why does that come into play? Is because if we feel like we're trying to just fix something all the time, your body is not going to be in the right state to actually get that feeling, right? So the fixing mindset sounds like this, right? I need to lose weight. I have to cut this out. Something's wrong with me. And if you're constantly replaying those thoughts and those patterns inside your mind, it becomes frustrating, right? The problem with that is that approach, it comes from a place of frustration and fear. It keeps people feeling trapped and in fight or flight mode, which we'll talk about in a little, and I've mentioned before, but if you're in fight or flight, you're not going to be able to achieve the goals that you want anyway. And it reinforces the identity of someone who is broken. Now, I want you to really think about that for a second, right? If you closed your eyes and envisioned your best, healthiest, most vibrant self, that person probably has energy, their skin is clear, they not only their energy for like what they do in the day, but how they show up in the world is vibrant. They're probably fit, they probably have a nice strong body, right? That is what we're searching for. But if we're always having the conversation in our mind and saying things like, I need to lose weight, I have to cut this out, something's wrong with me, right? If those are the phrases that we're using in our mind, well, that's not someone who's vibrant, who has clear skin, who is strong, who shows up in the world with positivity and energy. That's someone who is the opposite of that. So when you're constantly saying that, you're reinforcing to your subconscious and your brain that you're not that person. So how could you ever achieve the results of the vital high energy person when your brain still thinks that you're broken, right? So you're feeding the machine, the subconscious machine of your brain and your life, the wrong things. You know, there's the whole concept of you are what you think about, and your thoughts dictate your emotions, your actions, and then your outcomes in life. But if your thoughts are of the lack thereof of what you want, that's telling the universe, that's telling your subconscious brain that you don't yet have it. So let me give you an example, right? If you said, I want to not be fat, I don't want to be fat, I don't want to have diabetes. You're telling your brain, you're telling the universe, fat. You're thinking of what you don't want. I don't want to be frustrated, right? You're thinking of the lack thereof it, right? You're thinking of the negative thing, which tells your brain, which tells the universe and your emotions and your mind, that's what we're focusing on is fat, is diabetes, is struggle. Rather than if we flip that script and the way that we talk to ourselves of the positive, right? I want to feel healthy and vibrant. I want to wake up with energy and lust and bliss and joy, right? Now, your focus, your thoughts, your attention, your energy, and your actions are going towards things that are going to bring you energy, lust, joy, right? Excitement. So think about how you think, right? Think about how you talk to yourself or things you say out loud or that pop up in conversation. I bet you, without even thinking of it, if you met a stranger and they were like, tell me about your situation, you're going to be using some of that terminology. Oh, I just feel so fat. Oh, I just feel so bloated, right? And you're just constantly reinforcing the negativity in your life rather than thinking of how we want to feel and not from a place of that you don't have it yet, right? So this is a big problem. And I wanted to talk about it on this episode and specifically on the first topic here today is because if we don't start to become aware of that, you're going to stay in this hamster wheel of frustration. Your mindset is set to, I need to fix myself. And the way you talk to yourself is also that you're in lack of said thing. So, how do we ever expect the things that we're doing to work or to actually last long enough for us to be consistent with it to happen, right? That's never going to happen if that's the way we're talking to ourselves. So, I mean, when I talk to a lot of people, specifically women who spent years chasing these quick fixes, I notice one thing is that they've lost trust in their bodies. And that's pretty upsetting. If you don't feel like your body is capable of doing what you want it to do, which is have energy, which is to be at a nice stable weight, which is to build strength. If you don't trust in it, well, again, you're not going to do the necessary actions or have the right thoughts to lead you down that path, right? So you can't heal a body that you resent. You can only lead a body that you're constantly trying to correct, right? You can't help the body that you're always thinking is wrong and needs to be fixed and is broken. That's not going to change for the better, right? So I mentioned the word lead. And what does it mean to lead your body rather than to fix your body? Leading your body means to listen to it first and take direction second and direct it right after you listen to your body. A big thing of what I do with my clients and that I like to talk about even on here a lot is listening to your body, right? Your body is the most intelligent thing on this planet, right? Your brain, your body, the way your biology is made up is so innately intelligent. We just have to get rid of the noise and allow ourselves to hear some of those cues and what it really wants. Simple things like, I'm hungry, I need nourishment, I need rest, I probably shouldn't push myself in this workout today, and I should probably go for a walk, or I should probably dial it down today, right? Like listening to what your body wants. I can feel that there is a gut irritation. I can feel that there is an illness starting in my body. And the sooner we can listen to it on a very deep level, the better direction we can start to give to our body in a way that's healing rather than fixing. Again, right? So you get to choose rest instead of a punishing workout. You get to eat to fuel your body, not to earn food later. That's a big distinction, right? You're not eating so that you starve yourself in the morning and you get to earn your piece of cake at nighttime, right? That is a form of lack. That is a form of fixing something. You're eating your body to fuel yourself, to energize yourself. And literally the physical manifestation of what you're seeing is what you ate. You are what you eat. So when you're consuming food, you're thinking, man, I want to nourish my body. I want to give it the fuel that it needs. And it's for your future self too. Because eating crap for 40 years is going to lead to some poor outcomes of how your body is showing up in the world down the road. So you're eating to fuel, you're not eating to earn food later. And then another thing you can do by listening to your body is to set boundaries around stress and recovery. I know, specifically in America, that we are prone to hustle culture and work hard and burn the late night candles and do all of those things. And I get it. There's a time to work hard. But when it comes to your health, there has to be balance, right? I know work-life balance is fake and like, you need to be obsessed, and that's true for certain things. If you're trying to build a business from scratch, it's going to take obsession. It's going to take hours in the day. It's going to take all that you have. But when it comes to rebuilding your health and allowing your body to feel safety and to release fat and to balance hormones and to get the energy that we're looking for, we've got to set boundaries and we've got to be able to prioritize stress reduction and recovery. You going for a leisurely walk, you taking a hot bath, you stretching, that is not you slacking off. That is not you taking an off day. That is doing what's required to get the most out of your training, to get the most out of the nutritious food that you're eating. So if you're someone who enjoys exercise and you lift weights or you do workout classes or whatever you do to physically challenge your body, it is then going to be required to stretch, to foam roll, to go for walks, to take recovering baths in order to get the most out of that workout that you're doing in the first place, right? So if you constantly are lifting weights every day and beating up your body and not recovering at all, that leads to burnout, that leads to injury, that leads to a stagnation in your progress. And we don't want that. You want to feel good and you want to progress the whole entire time as life goes on, right? So it's like you're being the CEO of your body. And I know not everyone knows what it's like to run a business or have aspirations to be a CEO, but you are the chief executive officer of your body. And your job is not to do everything that is required, right? Your job is to create an environment where your team can perform. You see, CEOs of big corporations, they don't do every single job, right? They have a team of people below them that they communicate with, who each runs a department, who each has their goals and their focus. Hey, hope you're loving the episode so far. Thanks for spending some time with me. I got a quick favor to ask. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast because that's how I know you're getting value from the show. And this way, you never miss an episode. All right, now back to the show. Right? That's the same thing with your body. You can't try to do everything. You just want to create an environment so your body can thrive and perform. And then the other point that I like to make, and I talk about this a lot, but when your body feels safe, it lets go of the fight or flight, the emergency mode, and that's when hormones can regulate, that's when your digestion will improve, that's when fat loss actually becomes possible. So again, if your body is in a heightened state of awareness, it's at that chronic state of stress and fight or flight, it's not concerned with balancing hormones, it's not concerned with losing weight, it's not concerned with conserving energy. It's concerned with the goal at hand, which in primitive times would be running from a predator, getting cover, staying safe, staying alive. So when you flip into that mode, it's supposed to be for a short time period so that you can get to safety, you can escape the danger at hand, and then calm it back down. Right now, with the use of technology, processed foods, stressful work environments, the hustle culture, we're at this chronic state of fight or flight at all times. And when that goes on for years and years, your body switches that mode off that allows us to burn fat, that allows us to have energy, and it's totally concerned. All of your bodily operations are concerned with the fight or flight scenario, right? We need cortisol for the stress hormone. We need to shut off digestion so that we can dial in our focus and escape. But we are no longer running from predators, right? We don't have to do that anymore. There's grocery stores on every corner. You probably live in a pretty safe home, right? Your situation is not necessary to be in fight or flight at that amount of time. So when our body is able to then feel safe and turn that mode off, we can get back to doing what we need to do, like balancing hormones, restoring energy, burning fat. So I kind of already alluded to this, but there's a science to the safety, right? There's things like the cortisol stress response. Like I said, when your body is under fight or flight, it's releasing cortisol as a stress response. So that has a play in how your body's adapting to, again, digestion, to regulating hormones. Those things can't operate when the stress response is overdone, right? So another thing that comes into play with safety is nourishment. Now, I see this a lot specifically in women. They come to me and they have goals of wanting to lose a few pounds, getting their energy back. Those seem to be the main two things. Like bloating's an issue, wanting to lose a few pounds off the midsection, and energy is just not where it needs to be, right? They're not feeling right in their bodies. And that's totally understandable, but it's not normal. And in order to start to turn things around, we need to nourish our body, right? So if you're chronically under eating, because that was marketed to us of how we lose weight, you need to eat less, you need to move more. That is such a blanket statement. It doesn't even come close to how complex your body is. The female body, the human body is complex, but specifically the female body, when it's gone through changes, when it's gone through things like menopause, is so complex that we need to get rid of the thought of just eating less and working out more. Your body needs nutrients, it needs minerals to perform the tasks that it knows how to do. So if you're chronically under eating and specifically undernourishing your body, that's a problem. And then what I see is overtraining, right? So now you're eating fewer calories of maybe some packaged processed foods, maybe a protein powder here and there, and we think we're eating healthy. You're eating like 1,000 calories a day of garbage, and we're skipping out on all the macronutrients, vegetables, meats, fruits, all of the healthy whole foods, because we know that we need to be in a calorie deficit, or we think so, right? And then we're overtraining, we're beating our bodies up. Well, guess what? Exercise is a stressor to the body. It's a good stressor, but when done when your body's overstressed and undernourished, it's continuing the problem in the wrong direction. It's a catabolic experience, right? It's breaking down your body that's already being broken down from the inside out. So you're making matters worse. So, right, that's why safety equals metabolic flexibility. When your body is fully nourished, when you're doing exercise that supports you and is gentle enough or supportive enough to build muscle without totally breaking your body down, your body then starts to feel safe again, and it allows your metabolism to fire back up. Right? Oh, wow, I am not starving. I'm not gonna, your body doesn't think that it's waiting for its next meal. It knows it's being nourished with the right vitamins, minerals. It can go and send those signals to the body, break down properly in the gut, and your body starts to become happier. Now you're taking some walks intermittently throughout the week instead of just hammering down on hard workouts all the time, and your body's like, I can restore and heal from those workouts. I can release this stress hormone that's constantly being released because you're not in fight or flight anymore, right? And your metabolism starts to improve its capabilities. People talk about how when you get older, your metabolism slows down. It's not necessarily slowing down, right? It is not operating properly. We're just not giving it the environment that it needs to thrive. And that's what happens when you can build safety in your body, right? So remember, your body is not fighting you, it's fighting for you. It's trying its best to regulate itself, to do what it needs to do to survive, but you're not putting it in the right environment and situation to do so. So we need to make an identity shift, right? Like I said in the beginning, this all comes down to your mindset, the words you're using, the thoughts you're having, and that's creating the actions and the emotions that are leading to these scenarios, right? So the identity shift that we need to make is we need to stop saying that I'm broken, and we need to start saying that I'm rebuilding. If you're in a situation where your health is not optimal or it's not where you want it to be, then we need to stop looking at our bodies as everything in here is broken, and you need to say, I'm rebuilding this. I'm resetting the foundation of what it looks like to live a healthy life, right? Because leadership of your body, it comes from self-respect, not self-loathing. I want to repeat that. It comes from self-respect, not self-loathing. And if you are taking actions that go against respecting your body, that is not good. If you're eating food or drinking a ton of alcohol or something like that it's disrespectful to your body. You get one body, you get one life. We all know this. But if you're purposefully doing something that's putting it in harm's way, well, that's not respect for your body, and you can't build the confidence and the rebuilding attitude that's necessary. Now, this isn't me saying that you can never have, a drink, or you can never enjoy a dessert. That stuff is a part of life, and by all means, I do those things. But if you're constantly doing it and sabotaging all of the progress that you've made or all the rebuilding that you've done, that is disrespectful to yourself and to your future self, right? So, ask yourself this question, right? If your body could talk, what would it say it needs from you today? Have you ever thought about that? Like I said, your innate intelligence of your body is so strong that if we just step back and listen to it, it's going to tell us some of the things that it's wanting. And believe it or not, when you start to have cravings, it's telling us one of two things. There's either an imbalance or there's a missing nutrient or mineral, right? Like when you crave certain foods, that might be your body looking for the minerals and the nutrients that are in that food, not so much that it wants that food, right? Like if you're craving chocolate or salt specifically, you might have a blood sugar imbalance. You might have a blood pressure imbalance, or there could be something going on where your body is trying to regulate it and it's trying to send you that signal. So you already have felt these signals before, but we have to tune into them and where we need to focus our attention, right? And then you could also ask, are you giving your body a plan for it to follow, or are you panicking in response to it, right? So make sure that you have something set up in place where you have a plan that you're going to follow or structure to give your body the nutrients and the healing that it needs. And then remember that healing starts when your body knows you're finally on the same team. Like we said in the beginning, if you're constantly saying negative things about your body or saying what you don't have or saying that you need to fix it, your body doesn't feel respected in that sense. So if you're on the same team as your body and you're saying, it's almost like it's its own thing, right? Your thoughts and your subconscious are one thing and your physical body is another entity. But if we're on the same team as it, and you're saying, compelling things, positive things, and you're saying, you know what, we're going to rebuild, we're going to, feel good, right? You're having that positive frame of mind, then you can start to make some serious progress, right? And then remember, you can't fix your body from a place of frustration. You have to lead it from a place of trust. So when you and your body are on the same page, you trust your body, it knows, do what it knows it can do, right? Your body knows how to release fat, it knows how to have energy, it knows all that stuff. So when you trust it, you're putting it in the environment and the scenario to do so, and you don't have to worry about it, right? You can just sit back, relax, and watch it evolve, right? So when you start to do that, that's when we can start to make progress. And then when you start leading your body through nourishment, through structure, and consistency, you don't just change your health, you change your entire relationship with yourself and your identity. So if any of this resonated with you and you're ready to understand how to lead your body back into balance and take back control, that's exactly what I do with my clients every single day. You can start by watching my masterclass on my website. I'll put a link for it below. And then look at what it looks like to rebuild your energy, balance hormones, and take back control. If not, share this message with someone who it resonated with, or at very least, take some action today. If you learned something, if it resonated with you, take one action, take one thought, and start implementing it into your life, because we're here to be together and to work together towards this goal of being as healthy as we can. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Hey, thanks for spending some time with me on today's episode. I hope you got a ton of value from it. If we're not connected on Instagram yet, let's change that. Hit me up at Sean Calhoun _. That's SEAN Calhoun _. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think of the show, or if you got any questions about how to level up your health. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode.